All right, jumping right in today, no more passwords. Sounds futuristic, right? The passwordless year is coming.
Okay.
It's by ComSign Trust, a big name in digital security. And, well, they're saying no more forgotten passwords. Intriguing.
Definitely. Yeah, what I find really interesting is it's not just about convenience.
Right.
I mean, getting rid of those passwords, it's a plus.
For sure.
But passwords, they're becoming a weak link.
So it's more than just, like, not remembering them. I mean, we've used passwords forever. What's changed?
Well, the cyber threats, right?
Yeah.
Phishing, hackers, they use brute force attacks, stolen logins. It's a constant battle.
Yeah, for sure.
Passwords, even the complex ones, they're just vulnerable.
Vulnerable to these new attacks. Okay, so the article talks a lot about something called FIDO2. Is that the key to this passwordless future?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's FIDO2. It's like a new standard for logging in. It stands for Fast Identity Online, and it's all about using things like your fingerprint, face scan, a physical security key.
So like logging in with my face or my thumbprint.
Exactly.
Okay. But is it more secure?
It is, and here's why. FIDO2, it uses public key cryptography.
Okay.
It's really secure. A pair of keys, one public, one private. They decrypt information.
Yeah.
Your device, it keeps your private key safe. And websites use your public key to verify it's you. So no more phishing attacks. And, well, brute force attacks, they're useless.
Okay, now I see how it's more secure. The article also mentions a bunch of other benefits, better user experience, stronger compliance. Can you tell us more about those?
Sure. So the user experience, I mean, that's obvious, right? No more password fatigue, no more getting locked out. And for businesses, FIDO2 aligns with a lot of security standards. So it makes it easier to meet requirements.
So a win-win for everybody.
Right.
So I noticed the article talks about ComSign Trust's CCMS. What is that?
CCMS. That stands for Credential Management System.
Okay.
Think of it as a platform, like a central control panel for digital keys. They imagine it working together with FIDO2 to create a really powerful security system.
So AVA2 is how you log in, and the CCMS is behind the scenes to manage everything.
Yeah, exactly. They work together.
Okay, got it. The article predicts a shift towards passwordless in 2025. What trends do they see happening?
Well, they anticipate widespread adoption of FIDO2. More organizations, they'll make it their go-to. They also think FIDO2 will be part of what are called IAM solutions.
IAM solutions?
Identity and access management, yeah.
So it becomes part of a bigger system.
Exactly. And also, they predict major advancements in biometric technology, like facial recognition that can't be fooled and fingerprint scanning that detects fakes.
So biometrics are going to get better?
Way better.
Yeah.
And here's where it gets really interesting. Quantum-resistant cryptography.
Quantum-resistant cryptography. Okay, I'm lost. What is that? And why does it matter in this passwordless world?
It's about, preparing for the future of computing. Quantum computers, they're in early stages, but they could break the encryption we use today.
So even FIDO2 could be vulnerable?
Potentially, yes. That's why they're working on quantum-resistant cryptography. It can withstand these new attacks.
Wow, that's incredible. It sounds like even though we're talking about this future without passwords, security is going to keep evolving. We're just facing new challenges.
Right. And that's why it's so important to stay informed, be ready to adapt. This passwordless thing, it's one piece of a much larger puzzle. But what I find really interesting is what a passwordless world could mean for our everyday lives.
That's a great point. I mean, the article focuses on the tech side of things, but what are the bigger changes? How will it change how we, interact with technology?
I mean, imagine logging into your bank account, accessing your medical records, unlocking your front door, all with like a glance at your phone.
Okay, that sounds pretty futuristic and convenient, but isn't that a little too easy?
Yeah. I mean,
what about security?
It's a valid concern. But we're not talking about replacing passwords with easier methods. We're replacing them with more secure methods.
Okay.
FIDO2, biometrics, they're designed to be tougher for hackers.
Right, like those advanced biometrics we were talking about. But even those have their, limits, right? I've seen enough movies to know that fingerprints can be faked, facial recognition can be tricked.
You're right. No system is perfect. And that's why layered security is so important.
Okay.
Combining biometrics with, say, a physical key or a one-time code, that adds extra protection.
Okay, so like two-factor authentication, but like way more intense.
Exactly. You want to make it difficult as possible for anyone to get in.
Okay, so as much as we might love to ditch passwords, it sounds like security is still going to be a big thing.
Yeah, and that brings up another important point.
Yeah.
Privacy.
Ah, yes. Privacy. I knew we couldn't have this whole conversation without talking about privacy. If we're using our fingerprints and faces to log into everything, doesn't that mean companies are going to have even more personal data about us?
It's a big question, and one we need to be asking as we move towards this, passwordless future. How do we protect that biometric data and not misuse it? How do we balance convenience with, with the need for privacy?
Yeah.
These are conversations we need to be having.
I agree. It feels like we're at this point where things are going to change a lot. It's exciting, but I don't know, a little scary too,
Yeah, I get it. It's like standing at the edge of something brand new. We see the potential, but there are definitely unknown risks, and that's why these conversations are so important, to explore the possibilities and the pitfalls.
I like that. Possibilities and pitfalls. Well said. And I think it's about time to wrap up this deep dive. But before we do, I have one more question for you and for our listeners. If passwords are truly on their way out, what's next? What innovations do you think are on the horizon?
Well, it really is, is pretty mind-blowing.
It is. I mean, this idea that our devices are going to get to know us so well that they can, recognize us just by how we interact with them. It sounds very sci-fi, but like you said, the technology is already here. So, how would this behavioral biometrics, how would it actually work in real life?
Okay, so picture this. You open your banking app on your phone.
Okay.
Right, but in the background, the system's analyzing how you're holding the phone, the speed of your typing, how hard you press, the rhythm of your scrolling.
Wow.
All these tiny details, they create a pattern. And the system uses that pattern to make sure it's you.
So it's not just one thing it's looking at. It's a whole bunch of little things together.
Yeah, it's the bigger picture, how you interact with the device as a whole.
Yeah.
And because these patterns are so unique, it's really secure.
I can see how that would be a lot harder to fake than a password. But wouldn't this mean our devices have to be constantly watching what we're doing? Would that drain the battery or make my phone slow?
Right, and developers are working on ways to make it more efficient. One way is on-device processing.
Okay.
So the analysis happens on your phone, not on a server. So better performance and better privacy.
So it's about finding that balance, security, speed, and privacy.
Exactly. And as the technology gets better, I think we'll see even, smarter and easier solutions.
It's cool to think about what could be possible, but I do wonder about the downsides. I mean, if my devices are always watching, isn't that kind of creepy?
Yeah, and that's why transparency is so important. Users need to know how their data is being used. And they need to be able to say no if they want to.
So it's not just about the tech, it's about how we use it.
Absolutely. It's about having these conversations, making sure technology serves us, not the other way around.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a reminder that we have a role to play in all of this. As we move towards a world without passwords, I mean, it's not just about getting rid of passwords, right? It's about rethinking how we use tech, making it work for us in a way that's, safe and makes us feel good. So I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive today.
Yeah.
Thank you to ComSign Trust for, getting this conversation started. And a huge thank you to you, our listeners, for joining us.
And, this conversation, it doesn't have to end here.
Right.
We want to hear what you think about this passwordless world. What are you excited about? What worries you? Connect with us online and, let's keep talking. We're all figuring this out together. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay secure.